Hi, I'm Darryl Choronzey, and today I'm fishing with a legend, Dan Gapen, from whereabouts in the States?
I'm living near Minneapolis, a little town of Big Lake on the Mississippi River.
Right.
But I grew up in Ontario.
Okay, well, listen, this guy's a river fisherman's legend. True or false?
That's what they tell me.
Is that what they tell you?
Some of them call me a dinosaur at this point in my life, you know, because of my age. But yeah, I love to fish rivers.
We're up near Ignace, Ontario, right?
Right.
And we're fishing some walleye.
Some nice walleyes,
Okay.
you betcha.
I'm gonna let him go back. Stay with us, because we're going fishing.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Yamaha, when you want the best. Abu Garcia, for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. And by Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix. Closed captioning for Going Fishing is brought to you by Rapala, the makers of Canada's favorite fillet knives. It takes a little more than wind, rain, and even a tornado or two to keep Darryl Choronzey and his old buddy Dan Gapen from going fishing. Just the day before the pair arrived, a major tornado ripped through the small town of Ignace, Ontario. Buildings were toppled, transport trailers were overturned, and the airbase they were operating from even received a little damage. While the float planes were awaiting inspection, the boys headed to Vern's Minnows, the local bait shop, to get some accurate advice on where to fish under the current conditions. It seems all the local logging roads head to glory holes, but one lake in particular, called Kukukus, is bragged about the most. So stay with us as Choronzey and Gapen drive up the logging roads for northwestern Ontario walleye excitement.
Mr. Gapen!
I see that.
Mr. Gapen!
I was changing my jig.
Dan, I lost one here, too, just a second ago.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Oh, that's another eater.
Is that what you call an eater, Dan? Eh? You know the one thing? People come north, though, and they come, even in northwestern Ontario, they're expecting big fish, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, we've been at this game how many years?
A lot of years.
And you don't get big fish all the time. That's just no way.
No.
You get shore lunch fish like this, right?
The shore lunch size
steady.
is the average. The average walleye in Ontario runs, northern Ontario runs probably 1.5 to 2 pounds.
Yeah.
And that's what they can expect.
You know, if you get to some big water, you can get some big walleye. You can get a lot of those 28 inchers. But in most of the small lakes in Ontario, and in northern Ontario, central Ontario, and eastern Ontario, in the north, though, walleye like this are shore lunch fish, and you're going to catch hundreds of them.
Yeah, all kinds of them. But
Dan, I'm going to just pass him to you. You can put them in the cooler, thank you.
oh, you want them in the cooler?
Yeah, we'll keep them for shore lunch.
All right. Cooler.
Another one.
Another one.
You get pretty deadly with that, eh? Eh?
I don't know what he is. Oh, he's an eater. I got 4-pound test line. Let's hope he comes. There he is. You know what?
What?
I'm not going to keep him for shore lunch. I'm going to let him go.
Okay.
Okay? There we go.
Oh, I would have let him go. It would have only been one bite.
Ah, look at that. He just, phew!
I looked at the Lawrence a second ago. 17 feet of water, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was fish all over the bottom. So we've got...
They may have gone a little bit, they may have gone a little deeper in this bright sunlight, you know?
Yeah. Like the conditions today really aren't conducive to fast action walleye fishing. It's hot, it's real hot. If you notice, there's no ripple on the water. We're getting no bounce with the drift at all.
That's right.
And I think it's affected the fish. But again, a little bit of finesse. First off, you're using worms, right?
I'm using a night crawler tipped on a head.
I'm using something a little different. This is Berkeley's new stuff, Alive, the gulp.
Yeah.
And it looks just like real minnows. Like there's no two ways about it.
Yes, you know what? It's remarkable. That stuff really resembles the real thing.
Well, if you look what they've done, Dan, like there's the natural minnow color, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a chartreuse.
A chartreuse minnow.
Yeah.
That I haven't seen in the wilds, but
And it depends on, you know, what the water conditions are like and what color the water is.
Dark water, that'll work a little better.
But what they've come out with this alive is, I'll just bring this up. You know, what they've come out with is this alive, and the alive is gulp, right? You get gulp baits, but it's a liquid. So when you're fishing and say you've got the bait down for 5 minutes or something like that, you can stick it right back in the alive juice, right? And it's a liquid gulp.
Oh, and that's what those tubs are for.
That's what the tubs are for, buddy.
Oh, I saw you have them in a leech too.
Yeah, I got a leech over there, and hey, there's no two ways about it. Catches fish.
Yeah. You know, Darryl, you're my hero though. When you cook a shore lunch, there's nothing like any better.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I'm anxious that new bread of yours is supposed to be the hot stuff.
It is. You know what? And for guys like me and you, calorie conscious guys, we can eat all we want.
I'm not calorie conscious. You see this stomach? Yeah.
We're going to shore lunch shortly. I get the message.
Okay.
And now for the Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix Campfire Comment.
You know, my buddy, Mr. Ford, president of Walker Downriggers, and, you know, you make probably, well, since you pay my bills, you make the best downriggers in the world, but you're also into these deeper divers, right? And the deeper divers, it's a planing disc that takes the lure down but out and away from the boat, right? So the fish get pushed out and they find that lure there. Let me ask you something real quick. By big box stores, I mean Bass Pro Shops, I mean Canadian Tire, I mean Cabela's, right? By small stores, I mean Ma and Pa in the corner, right? Is there an effect with the big box stores and the small box stores, or what do you think about the whole issue?
Darryl, there's no question that from a sales perspective, the little stores lose some volume to the big guys. But in my mind, my opinion is that the big box stores, and particularly the specialists, have helped our industry as a whole in terms of leaving an atmosphere open to women and children where if they're tied to a mall, we get a lot of people coming into those big box stores that would never have come into the industry, and I think from there they do migrate to a lot of the independents that are smaller, that have perhaps more skills in some areas and more specialists, so I think it helps the industry.
At the same time, though, these small stores, and if you get the opportunity, if you're up in Honey Harbor or you're down in Brawny or you're down in Victoria, right? You know, my guys at Island Outfitters and places like that, or if you're in Campbell River, right? You go into those stores, and that's where you really get the knowledge off these small stores, because these guys know where the fishing is and what's hitting.
There's no question, Darryl, that the small independent stores normally have a lot of in-depth local knowledge on the baits that are being used and the type of fish that can be caught and the skills and how to do it. And no question, that I think a lot of people migrate there for the specialist skills that they need.
So what we're saying is small stores, the big stores, they can live together.
I think there's a place in the market for all of them.
Going Fishing returns with more walleye action on Lake Kukukus.
Mr. Gapen,
Yes. How about that?
decent fish?
I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Bending that rod a little.
Be my luck, it'd be a little bitty pike.
I don't think he's a pike.
No, he's
Nice
not a pike.
walleye. Hey,
Nice
you know what?
walleye.
That's a nice walleye, Dan.
Ugly bug head and a piece of night crawler.
You know what? Why did I not think you were going to bring up the ugly bug? You want a net, or
just the head though.
you want a net, or you want me to help you land him, or are you going to do it?
No, even with my arthritis, I think I can handle it.
You know, not bad for a guy that's 75 years old, or should I say 75 years young?
I don't care what you say. Just don't call me dead. I only got 4-pound test line on here, Darryl. You know what's happened to me though, as I get older?
What's that?
I've gone to lighter and lighter tackle. I'm not as interested in jerking fish out of the water in a hurry. That's a nice little fish.
Dandy fish, Dan.
Yeah.
On your ugly bug.
No, just the ugly bug head. I cannot tell a lie. I'm like George Washington. I used to tell all kinds of stories, but not anymore.
Dan, what's the biggest walleye you've ever caught?
14.2, I think.
You know? And did you get it in Sunset Country?
No, you know where I got it? I got it in Lake Superior,
Okay.
up at Nipigon, where I grew up.
Okay. Yeah, you grew up there and you guided up there when you were a kid?
Why don't we let him go?
Okay, let him go.
He's pretty close to the slot, so we just let that guy go for all you folks to come up and up at Elephant Lake, and oh, look at that. Isn't that nice? It's so
Aye.
pretty.
Gets to go back and spawn next year and bring more walleye into the world.
More walleyes, yeah. Now,
Okay, now real quick, we're fishing Sunset Country.
Yeah,
Sunset Country starts at the Manitoba border.
that's correct.
Goes almost, well, we're at Ignace now, it almost goes halfway to Thunder Bay, right?
Yeah.
Around the English River somewhere?
Yeah,
Now-
yeah. English River, part of the English River. Yeah, the English River's on it too. Yeah.
Okay, now there's 60,000 square miles of forest in Sunset Country. There's 70,000 lakes.
70,000 lakes. That means the country's got a lot of water in it.
You know, you would think that, well, not think, you know that this is a fisherman's paradise. You know, we were up at Menaki 3 days ago, me and you. And how big were your muskie?
Folks, he left. The day after he left, we had a monstrous storm that night, and we caught muskies. The storm was over by 11 o'clock. We had 4 muskies up to 44 inches in the boat by 5 o'clock.
Catch them on ugly bugs?
No, I caught him on a, matter of fact, I caught him on a, I've got a new bait coming out, but I won't even tell you about it, because you want a sample and I've only got one of them.
I'm only bringing him fishing so I can load up on his plastics, his flies, and his new flub dubs.
The flub dub, we tried the flub dub. We had one follow on the flub dub, but then I got a new jointed lure that I'm making, made in USA, not
Now,
made in China.
Don't start now with the Chinese and the Japanese and all that. Now listen, now that he's getting into talking countries and politics, let's go fishing.
All right, this sounds like a winner.
You can talk that way
I'm
later.
already fishing, you're talking.
So what exactly puts a walleye off the bite? Well, for starters, hot sun and intense heat. Then a mayfly hatch can shut the bite down entirely as well. But Gapen is an old pro, born and bred in the North Country, and Choronzey's been around long enough to always figure something out. Today, Gapen has been tipping mini jigs with small pieces of worms, while our host has turned to something new called Gulp Alive. These minnows and leeches look alive, feel alive, and taste alive. Even better, they don't have to be kept alive like the real McCoy. They all come in a bucket of fresh juices. There's also a Gulp Alive spray to juice up even the freshest baits and artificials. There's something else to think about when fishing with Alive. Currently, across the country, transporting natural minnows and leeches is getting to be a problem and a concern due to the worries of introducing exotic species and disease into our different water systems. It seems to us that this is the best way around the problem.
On the worm again.
You know what? It's amazing though, Dan. You see this sun out here like this? I mean, this is a super bluebird day. It's hot. No
You
current.
know what? Well, yesterday was cloudy. They were in 8 to 10 feet of water. Now they've dropped down to 14, 15. What do you got
I'm
there?
down 15 feet.
15
Yep,
feet.
just on that hump. God, I can't believe how lifelike these are. Is it a big one, Mr. G?
I have no idea. Haven't seen it. Camera will see it before I do.
You got 4-pound test line. Walleye fishing in the rocks.
You got it. You got to be tough. Oh, look at that little sucker run.
Pretty good size.
Oh, I see him.
Ah.
He's going around in circles like a walleye. Yep. Yeah, nice little
Chunky.
fish.
I don't think we need any more shore lunch fish.
No more shore lunch fish.
You know?
I get to release them. That's my bag. I love, after I get enough for shore lunch, then I release them.
But you know what? They are chunky. Hey, healthy looking fish.
Yeah, they got some real nice round bodies. I caught one yesterday that was this length, but it was that big around. Really. Yeah, and these mayflies help them. They make a tough fishing, but they, oh, goodbye, fish.
Dan, with these mayflies, they're called mayflies for a reason. They actually do come up out of the bottom of the lake in May usually, but we've had some real messy weather.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's been normal this spring.
Yeah, hexagenous is the proper name for them.
Okay.
However, I can hardly pronounce it, so we'll call them shadflies, mayflies. They usually come up in Ontario. They start hatching around the 20th of June.
Okay.
And when I was a kid, I used to fish with a fly rod.
Yep.
Oh, you talk about fun. The whitefish would come out of Lake Superior, up the Nipigon River, and we'd fish them with a fly rod and dry flies. It was just fabulous. Those whitefish, those big 10-pound whitefish out of Lake Superior would come up, they'd jump like a tarpon. Lots of fun.
Now, one of the problems is when you get a hatch like this, it really can shut down a fishery. So you've got to change your techniques. We're going to finesse fishing pretty well right now. You're at 4-pound, I'm on 6-pound. You've got your worms, I've got my alive. You know, and we've got to go dead slow. Even with this, with no wind, we're not even using the motor hardly.
You know, the other thing is that you've got to, oh, I had a bite. You've got to go to smaller lures too. I usually use a 16th-ounce jig, a little 16th-ounce brown ugly bug.
Oh, you and your ugly bugs. You got to get that last commercial word in, don't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry. But I tip it with a little piece of night crawler. Only about, I say, 1 cent worth of night crawler.
Yeah.
Just tip one time to the end so you get the scent of the mayfly larva.
Now, can I say...
Any brown jig will work, though.
Now, can I say one thing? He's already told us how to save half of a 15-cent night crawler. Now you're talking a 1 cent piece of night crawler.
1 cent worth of worm. Hey, you got it.
Cheap is the word.
Cheap is the word.
Look at this. Look
at there. Oh, gulp did it again.
Now, this is how effective the gulp is, right? I'm not jigging. I was sitting here talking to you, and it was just hanging over the side of the boat.
You know what that proves? People often will overwork a lure.
Look at this.
They work it too much. No, it's a nice fish, but it's not nettable.
You know, yeah.
Oh, I had one too.
I mean, again, the gulp was just hanging over the side of the boat, down on the bottom. And it tricked the walleye.
Proving the point that gulp scents well.
It does. Again, though, with the alive, like the new stuff, it's 400 times the scent distribution out there, right?
Yeah.
And
you know,
people
don't believe. A lot of people I've talked to don't believe in scent, and I was one of them at one time. But scent has a lot to do with your ability to catch fish that are smellers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What again, what they're saying with gulp is it's 400 times the scent dispersion, to get out there.
Yeah.
And now you've got the alive, you can dip it in, so you've got fresh scent all the time.
Yeah.
And you're getting a northern bath.
Look at this fish. Isn't that nice, Darryl? Now, I'm going to lift it up. If I can get him, I'm going to use Malcolm Lunenberger's technique here, maybe. Oh, not working too well.
Did you have a shower this morning?
Huh?
Did you have a shower this morning?
No, but I just got one there.
Okay, do the lift, see if it'll work. Put them across the palm of your hand. Open your hand up a little.
Okay.
There you go, see?
There you go.
That air bladder gets depressed a little.
Yeah, it's depressed.
And it doesn't hurt him.
No, that's certainly not. And he's not going to hurt anyways. He's going back.
Nice fish.
I'll hold him like you do by the tail. There you go.
And now for the Berkeley tip of the week. Fishing northwestern Ontario? The fishing is easy with a good assortment of jigs, grubs, spinners and spoons, power grubs, gulp, Meps, and Williams wobblers. It also pays to visit the local bait and tackle dealers to get the latest lowdown on what the fish are biting.
Mr. Gapen, hot out there today.
We did really well.
I've got a saying. I don't like telephone poles. I don't like cable. I think anybody that's fishing should be at least matching the line and the rods and the reels with the fish are after.
The older I get, I found I'm going to ultralight rods and reels. I'm having more fun catching fish and less of this jerk them into the boat type thing.
Yeah, well, I got a light action graphite abu rod, right? I've got an 801, almost an ultralight. It's a
medium light reel.
Okay.
Yeah, ultralight reel.
I'm running 6-pound Fireline.
Fireline, good.
And I feel the bite. I mean, there's no stretch
the
in it.
nice thing about Fireline is that you don't get any stretch. Like I was using 4-pound monofilament, I was getting a little stretch. You'll feed the strike faster with this.
Yeah, I went to the gulp grubs, right? The grub minnow or the minnow grub.
Yeah.
And I thought I'm going to go to something smaller. Like, it's a great bait, but it was still big, and they weren't after it today.
Yeah, this finesse fishing out here, when we were really small stuff at this time of the year, when they're really touchy, you don't want a real big bait.
Well, I went to something else. I went to a gulp minnow. Now, that's a small one, right?
Yeah, that's a
small
small
minnow. And it is a finesse, but there's something different. It's called Gulp Alive now, okay? If this stays out for a long time, it will dry, if it's left out in the sun. I've got, look at the minnows. and they're all in liquid.
They
liquid.
really look realistic too.
You know, they look realistic. They got the gulp smell. Kind of stinks a little. But it is a fish attractant. It's got 400 times the scent dispersion in the water.
Than a regular bughead.
Yeah,
Or,
and you know, they're saying it outfishes live bait, but we were both, you were using the worms, I was using the gulp minnow. It was bang, 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 bang. You were getting, I was getting. The thing to remember is match your tackle with the size of the fish you're after.
Going Fishing returns with the Napoleon Barbecue's Shore Lunch.
Russell McKay, you've got the reputation for being the fastest knife in the north. How long does it take you to fillet one walleye?
Oh, maybe 30 seconds or so.
Okay, and you're using a Rapala knife all the time?
Oh, I'm using a Rapala.
I noticed that the other night. Listen, tell me something. How are we having our walleye?
Today we're having our walleye coated and battered.
We're gonna have two different styles, right?
Two different styles
I hear
today.
you cook up one heck of a shore lunch.
Well, we're gonna find that out.
Okay, now, before I go any farther, what's the name of the lodge that we're staying at Ignace today?
You guys are staying at Flair's Lodge, which is soon to be Russo's Landing.
What's the name of that little minnow shop in Ignace?
Vern's Minnows.
Now, when you come into town, you got to stop at Vern's, that's for sure. The guy that owns Vern's, name's John, right? Don't ask me why it's called Vern's when he's John. But anyways, they can direct you to the lodge, right? And they can also hook them up with a lot of guides like you.
You betcha.
I'm just gonna let you clean the fish, and I'm gonna go sit by the fire.
All right.
Dan, what do you think? I've got battered walleye, I've got breaded walleye, I've got potatoes, I've got onions, I've got just about everything.
and I've got the bean.
And you've got the bean, yeah? Well, you're gonna be full of something later on.
Yes, I am.
Listen, if you get the chance, don't pass up the opportunity to get up to Kukukus Lake. It's just north of Ignace, Ontario, and I'm telling you what, it's absolutely phenomenal. And Flair's Lodge is the place to go, and they're the place to take you fishing. I'll see you next week. Now we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna go fishing.
I'm going to try some of this new batter here. This looks good.
For more information on today's fishing location and other going fishing destinations, visit goingfishingtv.com. Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Yamaha, when you want the best. Abu Garcia, for life. Berkeley, catch more fish. And by Darryl Choronzey's Canadian Fisherman's Breading and Batter Mix.
Going fishing.